But hear me out, this is extremely important and you must follow this tip if you want to hit infinite as fast as possible. Hey everyone, it's ShadowDTV, and today we're going to be talking about one of the biggest tips to getting to infinite rank. As you can see, we've hit infinite this season, we hit infinite last season. I'm just trying to pass on some of the tips that I've used to get to infinite, and hopefully they're able to help you out. I've started a playlist of my infinite, strategy guide. So each week or every few weeks, I'll be posting a video on that playlist to, help you improve your gameplay, help you improve your game and your decks, and try and hit infinite as well. If you have already hit infinite, congratulations. These videos, you still might find some helpful tips in here, but you obviously are doing a lot of things right. Let's get straight into it. So today's video is actually going to be about what deck to use. Now, obviously, there's a ton of decks that you can choose in Marvel Snap. Of course, pick a deck that you enjoy playing, that you have fun with. But hear me out, this is extremely important and you must follow this tip if you want to hit infinite as fast as possible. Obviously, there's other ways to, you can mess around with the game and still hit infinite if you play a lot. But this is probably the most important tip. You stick to one deck. Now, I know you could say like, oh, but what's the fun in that? Just playing the same deck over and over again. Well, if you are playing multiple different decks, let's say, for instance, we're playing this Dracula discard deck. This is the deck I use to get to infinite. We're playing with this deck right now. We're going to do a bit of gameplay. We play with this deck. I know what I'm doing with this deck. I've played it a ton. I know the matchups. Oh, I played a move deck. Oops. We're going to play a game with this Dracula discard deck that basically if you're using multiple different decks, you're not, learning the ins and outs of the deck. So with this Dracula discard deck, I've learned what I need to do on my turns, what locations are good, what locations are bad, when to retreat. I know when I'm in a losing position where I can't win. And these are really important things to know when trying to get to infinite. Now, of course, you could be having a bad day. You could get tilted and go, you know what, this deck's actually not that good. I'm going to play a different deck. And the problem with that mindset is you're going to just keep changing decks, and you're basically starting from scratch. You're starting from level 1, and you're having to learn all the ins and outs of that deck again. And it seems like, counterintuitive. Like, you obviously want to have fun. You want to use the best decks. Obviously, if you unlock a really powerful card, build a deck around it. But I feel in this game, even with, for the last season, I used a pool 2 only deck to get to infinite. And I just want you to understand that it is possible to get infinite without, the top meta cards. So you just need to think carefully about what deck you want to play it, and just stick to it. Obviously, if it's like it ends up being a really bad deck and you just can't get a win for the life of you, change deck. But once you've found a deck that you enjoy playing, stick with it. Stick with it for the whole season. You'll find that you learn all the ins and outs of the deck really well, and you'll feel more comfortable playing the deck, of course, but you'll also learn the matchups. Like, I know here in this scenario right now, we haven't drawn Apocalypse, which is pretty bad. I could have played Dracula, but the fact that we haven't drawn Apocalypse yet makes it kind of lackluster. Again, so we're going to get tons of swarms, but we don't have Apocalypse. I know this isn't the best situation for us. Well, what should we play here? I forgot Lady Sif is now a 3 cost, not a 2 cost. I did hit infinite when she was only a 2 cost card. That is probably important to state. But yeah, I can see already, like, we might, so they've played Iron Man there, so we're losing the left location. We don't have Apocalypse to win any other location for us. This is not a possible, it's impossible to win this. We can get 6 power here, and then we're relying on them not playing something crazy. Let's just do it anyway, just to show that it's probably impossible for us to win this. All they need to do is play... Did they? Yeah, so they win. And this is the important thing. Like, if you're changing decks over and over again, I knew from, like, then and there, and I know it was a pretty simple scenario, but there's scenarios where I have a Dracula and it's going to take a 20 power Apocalypse. But from knowing the matchups, I know that I already know that I can't win. And so I'll be able to retreat. And of course, that's a skill that you pick up as time goes on and you learn the game. But if you're playing the same deck, you know how strong the deck's going to get in specific locations. You know the math. You know it inside out. You know all the matchups. I know there's specific decks that are pretty unwinnable for Apocalypse. But then there's also matchups where I know I generally just always win. Me and a friend, we ended up getting in the same lobby. And he was playing like a Sarah deck, and every turn he's just like, I'm playing Moon Knight, discarding all these powerful cards. And he knew straight away, he's like, it's just impossible for me to win with this board state. And that's the key. He knew from playing that deck over and over again, he knows that the Dracula discard deck with Apocalypse is a difficult matchup for him. So making educated decisions based on that is really important. If I was to change deck now and play something that it's my first time playing it, it's going to take me 20, 30, 40, 50 games before I'm super comfortable with it. And with that is going to be a bunch of losses as well. Of course, if you're just trying to enjoy the game, play whatever deck you want. But if you really want to make that push to infinite, in my opinion, play the same deck, learn it well. If you're unsure of what deck to play, check out my YouTube channel. There's plenty of decks that you can check out that you'll be able to find. This is actually a good hand. There's plenty of top decks there. This Dracula discard deck, I have a video for that. We've got move decks. We've got, even pool 1 and pool 2 decks. You can use a pool 1 deck to hit infinite. If you're diligent and you learn the deck well, you practice, you play every day, a couple hours a day, 100% you can hit infinite. Let's see. So dagger there. I think we can go like a Moon Knight. Actually, Lady Sif's perfect. Lady Sif's going to discard Apocalypse. So I already can see that we're in a pretty good position here. Even with Crimson Cosmos as the featured location, I think we're in a pretty decent position right now with Apocalypse and Swarm in hand. And it's really just, and that's the thing, people will get hung up on what deck they should play. Of course, play a good deck. You don't want to play some, you build some deck and it just turns out to be really bad. You obviously don't want that to happen. Thanks, Scarlet Witch. That was really useful for us. But you do... is Gambit a good play here? Or Moon Knight? Let's go Moon Knight. Moon Knight. I just realized Swarms won't be able to be played at Crimson Cosmos, which makes this kind of bad for us now. Let's see how we go. But yes, it's... your opponent retreated. So yeah, you just want to stick with a deck. I know it sounds silly and it sounds simple, but stick with a deck. If of course, play something good. Obviously, if you're playing a bad deck, of course you can build your own deck. It might turn out really good, but there's so much content online. Check out my YouTube channel. There's plenty of websites where there's, top decks, top meta decks. Check those out, but don't feel that you need to be a super high level to push for infinite. I pushed for infinite with a pool 2 deck, no pool 3 cards last season, so you definitely can do it. Guys, if you have any more questions, let me know in the comments. If you have any tips that you think would be helpful to the community, let us know as well in the comments down below. And again, if you are looking for that one deck that you want to use to infinite, go and check out, subscribe to the channel, check out some of the deck profiles. Guys, thanks so much for watching and I'll catch you in the next video.